importantly, the graduates of 2014. Y'all can clap for yourselves. This is indeed an honor that I don't take lightly. I would like to take this time to thank Ms. Jacqueline Stanley for inviting me and Tiana Fennell for that wonderful introduction. I also want to take a moment to say, oh my God, to FM Stereo. I would also like to thank the entire Richmond Public Schools family for allowing me the chance to share what I have. I promise you I will not be before you long. With that being said, I would like to tag as a title, Where Should I Take My Talents? July 8, 2010, LeBron James sat before cameras and did what was called the announcement. This was an ESPN special being shot from an undisclosed location. He is from Akron, Ohio, that is less than an hour from Cleveland. He had been with the Cleveland Cavaliers the entire time he was in the NBA, and he was now announcing that he would be leaving home. He made the announcement that he would be taking his talents to South Beach. He instantly became one of the most hated players in the NBA. Many basketball fans wanted to know why he would go to a team that already had a superstar. Many retired players wanted to know if he thought he needed another superstar to win. In essence, his name was dirt. What I later found out was that Cleveland's professional teams were lacking in the completion of championships. Cleveland is currently in second place nationally for the longest championship drought. LeBron's plan was to go away for 4 years and gain some new approaches to hopefully bring his new strategies home to win his home a much-needed championship. What I couldn't figure was why I was able to see through the lens that LeBron James could clearly see through and the rest of the world couldn't. I fully understood why LeBron had made the decision that he did. He was a hot commodity from about the age of 12. Everyone wanted LeBron James on their team. Why was that? Because without a shadow of a doubt, it gave them an advantage. LeBron James was like a superhero on the basketball court. He was able to do things on the court that the world had never seen before. This is where I applaud LeBron James. He knew his worth. He was able to see that Cleveland was not equipped to further his skills. He saw Miami as a place that could. He saw that there were other players there that had the same goal, and he knew his talents would be cultivated and supported properly with the Miami Heat organization. So he sat before cameras and told the world that he would be taking his talents to South Beach. While the majority of you may never have the opportunity to do the announcement on ESPN like LeBron, you do have the opportunity to make the announcement. Deciding where you will take your talents is a huge deal that most people don't give enough weight to. It is imperative that you scope out the situation to see if it is the best fit for your talents. This opportunity is usually given to athletes and entertainers. They have the chance to decide what team they will join, whether it be the Brooklyn Nets or Def Jam. They have the chance to take an in-depth look at the organization and make the best possible decision. Newsflash, you have the same opportunity. You have the same opportunity to make the announcement about where you will be taking your talents. But you have to discover your talents first. After discovering what you do well, refine your natural gift as much as you can. You can't say you want to be the next Serena Williams and only pick up a racket on game day. You have to educate yourself on the different facets of whatever it is that you are planning to do. Grab a hold of your talent and work it out. You don't know what it is able to do until it is put to the test. Study the best in that field and strive to do it even better. For example, I classify myself as a poet. Realistically, I am someone who does wordplay. Knowing that, I would study artists like Jay-Z, Nikki Giovanni, and T.D. Jakes. They all do vastly different things with words. I would study their techniques and try them in my own style. I would do things like, I'm stealing the show like I kidnapped the artist. I told you I rhyme the hardest. If Jay-Z's the cream of the crop, Ayo's the whole harvest. See, a slam ain't nothing but an MC battle for intellectuals, and since my style crossover, I'm a winner that's flexible. Yeah, I've been begging Obama to debate me, because mental battles have been kind of bleak lately. Told him to bring the CIA to make sure it's done safely, because my vocab hit harder than anything with the safety. So, no exaggeration. My happiest days are spent listening to and reading work from the artists who I believe are the best while I have a pen and paper handy. I am always trying to improve my talents. But once you have maxed out on self-improvement, it is then time to find out where you can take your talents to be properly elevated. This process can be tricky. Take, for instance, Pharrell Williams. Pharrell has had much success as a producer and a featured artist. He was responsible for the production of about half of the hits in 2013. When I say half of the hits, I don't mean half of the hip-hop hits or half of the R&B hits. I mean half of the hits across all genres. He was doing major things in his industry and was still seeing himself as the man standing next to the real star. His hit song, Happy, was written for CeeLo Green. He presented his work to CeeLo, and CeeLo politely turned it down and said that it wouldn't sell. Pharrell then recorded the song himself. At first, things were moving slowly with the song. It didn't go as planned. But once the video was released, the attention for this song went through the roof. The name of this song is Happy. Pharrell Williams had tried to give his happy to someone who didn't have the vision to understand it or appreciate it. When he took his talents to the correct place, it exploded. He, like LeBron James, saw an opportunity for his talents and weighed his options. When he decided to do the track himself, it was a smash hit, because only Pharrell could be his authentic version of happy. Personally, I have had a struggle with this. I have made the decision to take my talents to some places in the past that didn't necessarily know what to do with them. I would spend time shelling out my art before people who didn't quite understand what it was, what it took to create it, or how to cultivate it. It wasn't until recently that I understood what my gift was and how I could make it work that made me take a serious look at where I should take my talents. I would never give you advice that I haven't taken myself. I will tell you, I have walked through all of the steps that I have laid out here. I have discovered what I was good at, refined it to the best of my ability, sought out who was the best in that field, and tried to top that and decided where to take my talents. Because I have done my work, I'm able to do things like, I am simply one woman who writes poetry, who spews out words how they flow in me. I'd like to believe they grow in me, but if that were true, the volume of people knowing me would be blowing me, so for now we'll just say, I write poetry. Even though the Epic of Gilgamesh was born with my first breath, that was the poem known before the rest. When I blew through Maya Angelou and gave Phenomenal Woman to you, I was just ego tripping with Nikki. True? I don't know, I just write poetry. So when I was to say yes for Flowetry, I was also to go get it for Mary Mary. You'll never know how much this is to carry. I was even the inspiration for Thriller, Scary. I was only 2 years old with millions of albums sold. I made the play by Chris, Guy, Johnny, and Will Cole. Jill Scott was my next door neighbor, and I owed Erykah Badu a favor. I was Queen Latifah's best friend before Flavor. Coincidence? I don't know. I just write poetry and expose words how they flow in me. I used to shine the shoes of a man named Langston Hughes and slid through the mic when Billie Holiday sang the blues. I was James Weldon Johnson's translator and Warren G's regulator. Chris Cross never jumped before me. I told Slick Rick that bedtime story. I was Sheila E.'s Good God and Puffy's Less Work when he was going hard. I took Mavis Staples there. I was the push for Willow Smith to whip her hair. I used to hang with Marvin Sapp. I taught Cool G how to rap. Told Savion Glover he should tap. I put Nicki Minaj on the map. Yeah. I ain't had nothing to do with that crap. I used to whisper the notes from the trunk of the car that carried the loneliest monk. Told Lil Jon to get it crunk, introduced Rock the Punk, gave a go-go yard some junk, gave James Brown some funk. Told LL he was a hunk, but he also needed love. Told Mike to wear just one glove, not OJ though. I drank from a fountain called Simile Flow, made Rakim paid in full. Told Lady Gaga to wear meat instead of wool. Gave Jay-Z airtime for his PSA. Told Run DMC to walk this way, not an Adidas shirt, shoes, or pants. Adidas, get these shackles off my feet so I can dance. Gave Biggie Smalls Juicy, whoever knew Kirk Franklin knew me, and Damien's Road to Zion came through me. I was Negro spirituals before slavery. I was Princess Butler's pants bravery. But like I said, I just write poetry. It's just coincidental, all the greats be quoting me. I am Ayo Morton, and I have decided to bring my talents to the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology here at Virginia Union University. Where will you take yours?